So today and this week, this term is about sensing. And when we talk about sensing in my field, sensing main main reason for sensing is to optimize our actions in the world, are to give us more information and to guide us as we move, mid-movement, or and eventually plan movement. Movement is action. Talking is movement. Turning your eyes is movement. And movement is movement. So walking, playing, dancing. So what I found is when I went again and again and taught the senses, I found, and I'll share something with you. I think, by the way, I am in Russia and it is nighttime. So good morning over there. Thank you for some of you for getting up early. I have to open this file for my Zoom to see it. Okay. So you may remember the inner ear. I'm going to start there because that's not working. There we go. Now you're seeing my whole screen. All right. Let's just deal with that like this. So here you're seeing the inner ear, which includes hearing and equilibrium. And what you have here are two fluids that are slightly different. And one is moving at a different rate than another one. And the membrane in between it registers this lag time or interaction between these two fluids with either hairs or with the otoliths. So I'm going to have you take a moment in your seat and just make yourself a little unstable. So you can stand up and be unstable, but just, and this would be good anyway, as a morning arrival, is to find a little instability, even enough so that you catch yourself. And these three semicircular canals have fluid rushing through them. And this is happening on three different levels. And so you can register and know if you're sitting straight, walking straight. You can recover when you step sideways. And so for a moment, just give yourself even maybe a step. Dare to step away from your chair just for a moment, or at least, yeah, so recover. So step and recover. So what's happening is this whoosh of fluid in different directions in your inner ear, and each in a slightly different way. So we take, this is one place we take the ocean in. The ocean is inside our sensory organ, and it is using the ocean, directing its flow and measuring it as we move. The thing about the ability for us to know where we are in space, proprioceptively in our joints or muscles, but also in this inner ear actually means that we're always in motion. It is a farce to think that we are ever still. We are actually constantly adapting, which if you see me do this right now, I'm exaggerating what we're doing and hopefully what we allow ourselves to do more in order to be part of our original oceanic home. We once were seaweed. We once were fish. We once were small plankton in our evolutionary background. And the Western world has unfortunately pretends that we can sit still, but the stillness is still negotiating here in our inner ear with this salty water. So I'll show you, I'm still sharing. Okay, so we'll go to the next, I'm looking at you for a moment, so I'm seeing what you're doing. So this is a very small picture of the vitreous humor. So it's a different kind of fluid. Of course, your eye, it's very important for our eye to always stay moist. But if you want, just for 30 seconds, I'll take off my glasses even. For 30 seconds, put your hands over your eye lids and just fall into this aqueous orbit. And so, and that's might be all it takes. And then allow your hands to release. And instead of looking to see, let this globe, this watery globe, that's actually a bit more like egg white, this egg white filled globe shift. Does it change your tempo? Does it change? Can you just put up yes, no, maybe? Does it change your rhythm? I can't see. Yes, I could just say yes, no, maybe. Are you enjoying it? Okay. Show you a bluer version of this. And now let's go to smelling. So what happens in smelling as you are floating through the water? So smell was developed also in the ocean. Fish had it first. And it was these were the first nerves that inspired the brain. They were the nerves that this olfactory bulb was the first brain. And so it was in water. And so fish are always moving and they're smelling, interestingly enough, through water. And so inside our nose, we mimic that with a film of mucus that can't be too thick, lest we lose our smell. And it can't, but it has to stay moist because we need that film for the etheric oils to be captured and to enter us and for us to perceive it. You also need to breathe back and up into your sinuses. So just for a moment, I'll give you a moment. And the air needs to have enough moisture to hold these etheric oils. as if it were better to be in the ocean. So just for a moment, breathe in and know that way in the back of your sinuses are these hairs that grow daily new, and they have the exact right amount of tone in their mucus to absorb the smell. So just forgetting this screen film for a moment, let yourself be three-dimensional. I'm going to watch time. We're not going to lose the world, but just let yourself feel the back of your eyes, the back of your eyes. Let yourself remember that sitting is not the most natural way for us to move and orient. So let yourself drift, maybe drift. Let your cells drift, let your body drift. As if you were moved by the ocean. Now that's support. That's support. Not all movement comes from nothing. And that's something the ocean, not all movement starts from nothing. It's not so effortful. We're buoyed up by the ocean around us, and we recreate it in our bodies. So your seeing is supported by this ocean. Your hearing, which I didn't even talk about, this beautiful spiral. It has the same double membrane system, two fluids that communicate through a membrane, and gorgeously laid out hairs. So you have support from the ocean that your body has maintained in the anatomy and allows you. So right now I'm pushing this oceanic memory in you, your evolutionary memory. The fact that things are three-dimensional and in water, even up and down. So now we're in gravity. So we're limiting ourselves more and more, but our anatomy is free. Even the joints and the body are free in all directions, more than we think of. So is there any comment right now? I'm looking at the time, and it's not the time.
So you're time. You have 2 minutes. You're doing great.
Great. So I'd love some comments. You can either type, or you can also just expand this into your cells. So each cell in your body, trillions of cells, has the memory of the ocean in its cytoplasm. And it has everything that it's learned, the brain, the membrane of the cell has learned to negotiate and use this cellular fluid, extracellular fluid, this transitional fluid to maintain your life and to grow your life.